And today we're getting a look at what it might look like to go there. Elliot.
Yeah, that's because Shanghai Disney reopened today with lots of changes. CNN's David Culver takes us there.
It is a strange contrast. As some cities in China are going on lockdown, you've got places like this. Shanghai Disneyland reopened. CNN getting rare access to what it took to pull this off. Welcome into Shanghai Disneyland, where we are getting a sneak peek of what the new operations are going to look like for this park and reopening 3.5 months after they had to shut down because of the novel coronavirus outbreak here in China. Now, normally, when you're in the park as they reopen, you're going to have to wear a mask. We're able to take ours off because the crowd isn't in just yet. But as you can see, the preparations are underway. They've used this time to rethink how they're going to have people coming in safely, keeping that social distance, and avoiding any sort of contact, not only with each other, but also with cast members. So it's going to have things looking a little bit differently. I'm going to take you outside the park to show you how we got in with Senior Vice President of Operations, Andrew Bolstein.
We ask our guests to do a few things now differently than before. One is we ask every one of our guests to have temperature screening as they arrive here at the resort. We also ask them to show their QR code, which is a Shanghai specific health code. We put a little more structured decaling and markers in place. So these are very clear. Don't stand here, yeah. And then you stand in the blank space in between. As always, we require government ID to redeem your tickets at the entrance, but we're also going to be capturing government ID information for every guest that comes into the park, not just one per party, as part of the traceability measures that we have in place now per the government guidelines.
Give us an idea, I mean, as we're walking through, what folks will notice that's different. I mean, one thing that stands out to me is constant sanitation.
Yes, so we have a very dedicated team of custodial cleaners that we've even increased the numbers of those throughout the park that are constantly wiping down all the surfaces.
And noticing that parade go by, obviously a distance, but
yes,
you can still see the characters.
Yes.
Not the big hug and high fives, right?
Exactly. More of a selfie moment and take the photos, but again, it gives the guests that ability to have that emotional moment and that connection.
As you're walking along the line here, you'll notice the places you can stop and the places you need to keep a distance. And then eventually you make it to the attraction. Notice this, I want to point this out. As I go into number 1, normally you have number 2 to go into. They've got it roped off. Stepping off the ride, the new normal. And they've got several more along the way out.
Ask for the guest's understanding that for your health and safety, the table's unavailable. So basically we're asking the guests not to sit here, sit there, and again, it creates kind of that separation between all the different parties.
Safe spacing even for the performances. This is one of the stages. Look here in the crowd. Pick a box. That's where you and your family unit will stand, keeping that distance.
We'll be able to strike that right balance between the safety and health and confidence side and then the magic that we're able to deliver every day.
Do you feel in many ways that not only other parts of the company are looking here and other parks hopefully going to be reopening, but maybe even other companies saying, let me see how they're doing it. Maybe this could help us reopen too.
Everywhere's a little bit different though. There's different regulations, there's different environments, people are at different phases of the epidemic. But I think what we have can be a model, hopefully some inspiration for them, and they'll adapt it for what their local conditions are.
It's a whole new reality. That was David Culver reporting from China.